Hi YouTube, I'm back. I am here with a collaboration between myself, Mini Stitches, Amy Plays with Dolls, and Teeny Tinkers. We all partnered up this month to go ahead and make a doll that was inspired by a drag queen. And I chose none other than the absolutely stunning, absolutely gorgeous Juno Birch. And I live for her. I love the way that she combines her like alien shtick with drag and just transsexual nonsense. It's so fab. I'm really happy with how this doll turned out, and I'm very excited to show her to y'all. But she almost killed me. This doll almost killed me. I decided to learn how to sew during this process, which was maybe not my smartest move, but hey, I have a new skill set now. So on top of learning how to sew from scratch, I also started this process kind of trying to stamp Juno's drag character over one of my dolls, and that ended up being a huge mistake. Nothing was really coming together. I was not happy with how it was looking. I ended up getting to the point where finally I just had to scrap everything, wipe everything clean, start over. And I'm so happy that I did. I ended up kind of fusing Juno like in drag and out of drag, and then kind of like imagining that through my own style, and I'm really happy with like where she landed. I kind of just was imagining like if I were to cast Juno in like a fashion editorial or something, like what would I want that to look like? And I'm really happy with where I landed, and I'm so excited to share her with y'all. So let's go ahead and get into the process. So starting out, we have one of my Etherealgirl Bjds. This sculpt name is Etheria. I had this really beautiful like pastel kind of periwinkle blue sample that I got in from casting a couple months ago, and she has just been sitting around my studio like haunting me. Like I've just been trying to figure out who I wanted her to be, like how I wanted to paint her. And finally, when I was approached by Mini Stitches about this collaboration, I was like, oh, I know exactly who this doll is going to be. So as you can see here, I'm just going through the process of her face up, and face ups for me are my absolute favorite part of doll making. I have like a background in makeup and used to perform in drag like a million years ago, and I always just like love painting these faces. There was a version of this doll where I was really trying to paste Juno's face over this sculpt, and it just was not working. I was not happy with it. So I wiped everything clean and I started fresh, and I just kind of followed along with like what the sculpt was asking for. And I'm really happy that I did, because I feel like she feels like really kind of smooth and like seamless. Especially once like the lashes are on and the gloss is on, she really comes to life. I had these beautiful blue gray eyes that I thought matched Juno really well. So with that, the face was done. From there, it was time to move on to the body blushing, and body blushing is another stage that just really brings the doll to life. I unfortunately can barely show you any of this process, otherwise YouTube would send me directly to hell. But as you can see here, I'm just kind of adding in some blushing, adding in some shading. I did go ahead and I gave her little French tips. So once that was done, I went ahead and I let her cook under the UV light, and it was time to move on to the shoes. I started by 3D printing some white shoes on my printer and gave them a really rough coat of blue paint just to act as a base underneath this silver leafing. And I thought the silver leafing really tied in to the silver embroidery that's on the dress, so I was pretty happy with how this looked. Once the silver leafing was done, I went ahead and added a loop to the back of the shoe, and then I tied some white ribbon into it that kind of gave this cute little design. I'm really happy with how these turned out. Now it's time for the wig. I am using this platinum blonde mohair, which is a natural fiber that can be heat styled and wet. I chose to do a long center part, kind of referencing Juno's hair out of drag. I thought that it was a cute look with the way that I was kind of fusing together her in drag and her out of drag. So since her body looked a lot like her drag character, I thought that the hair kind of added a nice balance, being more representative of who she is out of drag. So this is where all chaos ensues. It's time for the dress. I've never sewn anything in my life, so I went to my friend and mentor, Pasha, who is Pasha New York. She's an incredible doll maker. Thank you so much, Pasha, for showing me how to use a sewing machine, how to draft a pattern. Once she taught me that, I bought my own sewing machine. I got some more materials and I was trying out a bunch of different fabrics. None of these were really giving what I wanted them to give. That purple one specifically felt pretty cheap on the scale. So I finally came across this fabric and I fell in love. And with that, she's finally done. Reveal time. Yes, that's happening. So Juno has landed and she is ready to probe or be probed. Um, Overall, I'm really happy with how this doll turned out, especially for this dress being the first dress that I've ever made with my own hands. I'm very happy with that. I also sculpted these little sunglasses that are like her signature glasses, and I'm really not happy with how they turned out, so we're not going to really talk about them. But that's everything for this video. I'm sorry that my voice sounds terrible. Allergies are absolutely killing me, and I'm fighting for my life. But I will see y'all in the next one. And yeah, thanks again. Bye.